for tuning in today. Today we're going to be painting another landscape. The landscape is going to be called Starry Night over your city, so wherever you live basically is what the skyline is going to be. For this we're going to need a canvas. So you need your canvas and you need to have 5 colors. They're the primary colors of 3 and the neutrals of 2. The primary colors of 3 are blue, yellow, and red. And then the 2 neutrals are going to be black and white. Black is the absence of light, and white is just all the light. So you're also going to need something to mix your paint on, like something that's like not absorbent. I'm going to just be using a mat, actually. Cutting mat. It's a little bit dirty. It's been used before. I also have some to-go utensils because I don't want to mix the paint, the colors of paint in the jar, because I don't want to like have blue and the red and then I will just make all of the red a different shade of red. You want to start with having 2 brushes, a thick brush such as this, and then you're going to also need a cup of water. I'm repurposing this yogurt container for my water cup. And then you're also going to need a small brush like this. So put them in your water cup, and first we're going to start with the background. We're going to start from the bottom and go up to the top. So for the bottom part of our canvas today is going to be yellow. So we're going to start with a little bit of yellow. We're going to use our plastic utensil to scoop it from the container and just put it on there like this. And I am going to just put the spoon back into the container and put the lid slightly on top of the container, because I'm probably going to need more eventually. Okay, so I'm going to grab my big brush because I need to cover more surface area for the background. I'm going to get it in the yellow, and I'm just going to paint the bottom quarter of my canvas with yellow. And I'm going side to side, and I'm putting, the more pressure you put on the brush, the flatter and like wider and more paint it will release onto the canvas. Your bristles that will expand as you go. But if you just put a little bit of pressure on your brush, they're not going to be as wide as if you were to put pressure. So just paint that whole bottom part. Alright, so for this next step, we are going to get a little bit of our red, just a little bit, right, and we're going to put it on our palette, and we're going to just dip our brush into the red. We're not going to clean it because we want to have an orange color, so you're going to put the red on the left side right on top of the yellow. And you're going to want to go a little bit more than halfway across. Alright, now for this next step, you're going to want to get the yellow back on your brush. You don't need to clean your brush unless you have like a lot of red on it. You just want to keep this color on your brush for this next part. So now I have just yellow now. I'm going to paint the other side of the canvas. So now it's like a light, like a really light orange, almost still yellow, but it's like a light orange. And you're going to start to work some of that color from the left side into the color from the right side. And you're going to go and do this all the way across. Now you're going to grab a little bit more of that red, and you're going to make 2 lines that are horizontal that are going to go a little bit off-center to the right. Now you're going to go back to that yellow without cleaning your brush, and you're just going to do what we had just did, and you're just going to paint and fill in some of that white area, and you're going to bring that yellow up just a little bit. The best way to blend your paints for this painting is going to be having a dry brush that has some paint, some color on it, but mostly dry, and you're going to be using the wet paint from the canvas, and then the brush is your tool to use to mix those colors together and blend them together. You don't want to keep adding a bunch of color, or it's not going to really blend the way you want it to. So you see how my brush is like pretty dry, it's like barely getting off any color. Great. So now for this next part, we are going to be cleaning our brush. So just drop it in your water for right now. And we're going to put a little bit of white onto our palette. And now we're going to need a little bit of blue. And you can put it right next to the white. Okay. Now clean your brush by spinning it around in your water, and then scrape your bristles against the edge of your cup so that it's not dripping wet. So you should have a nice clean brush. Okay, next step is going to be to put your brush in the white and just tap it lightly in the blue so you have just a little bit of blue on the end of the brush and mostly white. And now we are going to stroke on top of the yellow and orange color that we have made, and you're going to brush back and forth all along the yellow and orange, just on the top. And also you're going to make sure you don't have any white space in between the yellow and the blue color. Now we're just going to do what we did earlier. We're just going to go back and forth, and we're going to just work our brush and let it blend and mix those colors for us. You're going to also want to start moving your brush in a different way. You're going to want to start arching it. So dip your brush back in the white and the blue, and you're going to start making little arches with your brush, just like this, like little arch brush strokes. And just keep dipping your brush in the blue and the white. For the arches, it's okay to have a little bit more blue than white on your brush because we want it to gradually get a little bit darker as we go up to the top of the canvas. So just keep doing these little arches and work your paint and your brush to blend. We're going to need a darker blue, so for this you're going to need a little bit of black, and you're going to also need your blue. So I'm going to just scoop out a little bit of black, not too much, I really don't need that much, onto the palette. And so first we're going to not clean our brush, we don't need to do that. But for this color that we're going to make, we are going to dip our brush in the black, just a tiny little bit, and then we're going to dip our brush in the red, and then we're going to dip our brush in the blue. And you're going to dip your brush in the red one more time. We're looking to get like an indigo color, like a very dark blue purple color. So keep working with your red and your blue and your black. Mostly you don't use red and blue. You don't need any black to achieve this color. So this is the color that I have. It's kind of dark, but that's okay. So it is a little bit purple though, so that's what we need. If you want yours to be like more purple, just add more blue and red. But now we're going to just keep doing these arches, and we're going to just start working those arches on top of those blue arches that we did previously. So you're going to start right above those light blue arches and just keep doing the same brush stroke right on top. See how my brush is very dry? This is helping create a more blended light effect. And we'll need a little more paint, but no, not so much. So your arch is basically going to go up almost to the very top of our canvas. I'm going to go back in and add just straight up blue. I'm not going to clean my brush, I'm just adding blue. And I'm going to work it into some of these arches. So now I'm going to take my whites, and I'm not going to clean my brush, I'm just going to get the white, and I'm going to just do a few of these little arches on top of that light blue, and they're going to be in varying sizes and lengths. I'm just going to start working that into from the light blue up into the dark blue, just with the white and like the dryness of my brush. So we're essentially looking to make clouds. So just imagine a cloud and the fluffiness and the curves of a cloud. That's just how you want your brush stroke to act for this. And don't forget, having your brush is really important for this part. Need a little bit of white. For this like whole background portion, you are going to want to work a little bit quickly, because since we are not applying like a bunch of paint onto the canvas, we don't want it to dry. But if it does dry, don't worry, just go back and put some of that same color, like the original same color that you started with, the yellow, the red, the blue, the white, and then you can make that purple. You're going to just want to add that color into the canvas and basically repeat the process of blending it, just in case you have a spot you want to like touch up. But we'll go over that in just a second after we finish this top part. Personally, when I'm doing these arches, I find it easier to do this brush stroke since I'm left-handed. I use my left hand and I go to the left with my hand, almost like I'm writing a circle, like doing a half circle or a C, just because I guess my name starts with a C, so it's just kind of, my handwriting is just used to like going like this all the time. So just imagine you're doing a bunch of like half circles like really fast. Now I am going to go back down to this part, but since it's dry, you can run your finger across and see if it's dry. I'm going to just clean my brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little bit more of this light blue color. So I'm going to dip my brush in the white first, a tiny bit in the blue, like we did earlier, but it's a very small amount of blue. And I'm just going to paint some of these little arches right here. I need a tiny bit more blue, so I'm going to dip my brush in blue again. This might be too much, we'll find out. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over this like orange area, so I'm going to clean my brush again. I'm going to dip it in the yellow, and I'm going to keep doing those arch strokes to keep it consistent. Since this is our second layer, we're just going to keep doing those like yellow arches. And I'm just going to do the yellow over the entire orange area that we did. And after this, I'll go back and add some of that red so we get the orange color back. Alright, now we're going to add a tiny bit of red to your brush on the end, and we're going to just keep doing those quick little brush strokes. Without just seeing it, so you can always go down. Now I'm going to go in with some white, dipping my brush into the white with my flat brush, and I'm going to do some of these arches in white on top of this like virtual area, so that they can also look like they're clouds. Okay, wonderful. So now to finish off our background, we are going to take just a little bit of black. We're just going to paint that top part. There's still some white. We're just going to black. So the brush side, don't add any black. Just the brush into color. Add it, and then you can just use the outside. Don't do it. And you're going to do that later. And once you towards that little upwards to the black. So you don't have any hard lines, it's all like a big gradient. And I'm going to add a little bit of white to my brush. When you go black, it's going to be very fast. And it's very fast, you don't necessarily want to have any of that color. Just going to go this. Okay, so we have our pieces that are exciting. Okay. For the next step, you're going to be making the, what is it called? Basically the skyline for whatever city you live in. Since it's Austin where I live, I'm going to go to my phone and look up the Austin skyline, and not one that looks like this, so that you can really just like see the outline of what you really need. So I'll include this picture on my website. The brand is Simpline, just in case there's any discrepancies about whose artwork this is. This is not mine. This is available on Etsy, and it's $8.33, and it has she has 4.9 stars, and out of 1,243 reviews. So you should go check her out if you like to buy things on Etsy. Honestly, though, I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. Sorry. You should check them out if you're ever on Etsy. Okay, I'm just going to take a screenshot of this picture. Cool. Now I'm going to take my little brush, and I like to start in the center and go out because I don't want to run out of like space for my skyline. So first I'm going to start with the codependent building, with just like sketching it with my paintbrush. Alright, so now that you have your skyline, we are going to put some stars in the sky. So to do this, I like to use the back of my brush as a tool to dot. So dip your brush into the white. Dip your small brush into the white and use the back of your brush, like the handle, and you're going to use this for your stars. It's going to be the tool to make little dots in the sky. And if you want bigger stars, you're going to use the bigger brush. You can just put in the darker area of the sky, and if you want to fancy, do some like deliver sociology accurate stars, you can do that. But I'm going to do that because I don't really know about stars. So I'm also going to use yellow first. Get my brush head, back of my brush into the yellow, and just sprinkle a couple yellow stars in there because stars are not really white or yellow, but this gives it the illusion. One step on the fillings. I want you to take your small brush and dip it into the white. Your black should still be a little bit wet, and that's good. So you're going to want to just brush downwards on your buildings, and you just want to do this on one side. So for example, I'm going to keep mine on the left. And the top area. This is just going to give your buildings like a highlight, and you need to have it be consistently the same across all the buildings because essentially the light should be coming from a source, and my light is coming from the left side, so this is why I have like a light white highlight on the left side of my buildings. Since the codependent building is a little strange, I am going to do a little bit more of the highlight. This little one doesn't do much because it is kind of being blocked anyway, so I'm just going to do a small one at the top. And if you want to have windows instead of doing this, you can feel free to do so. I sometimes have too many windows that are like unrealistic on my building, so I tend to just kind of stick to this little outline and then the highlights. Alright, so here we have our Starry Night in your city. I hope that you have enjoyed painting with me and found this video useful. This painting is owned by Paint the Town, a company that helps provide a painting event experience. So I do not own this painting because it was not my original idea. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back if you ever have any more questions or just want to paint something new. Have a good day.